time for another exciting day of YouTube video making. You can see the key keeper is a little hard on my fine red automobile, or rather the bozo that pulled into the side of this car in the grocery store parking lot. It's a little hard on it. Fortunately, doesn't seem there's too much damage done. But more recently than that, I actually lost the radio in this car. I had to go back to Best Buy and pick up a replacement because two of the contacts in the little fuse holder box here, they got to touching one another, and I think they fed the low power side of the radio, the one that runs like the clock and stuff. I think that got hit with 24 volts because it smelled pretty burnt, and when I opened up the fuse container, I found that the two fuse holders are soldered together in an L shape, and I found that they were touching one another, which probably wasn't for the best. I don't know, I haven't tested that theory with my meter yet. Neighbor's out working on his cop car. We're going to do something special for you today. I'm going to go over here to this poor old Cadillac that's all covered up. This is a 79 Cadillac. I believe it's a Deville, but I'm not sure how to pronounce it's a Phaeton Deville. I'm just going to throw it out there, not even worry if I got the pronunciation correct or not. Got a big old V8 in it. My dad bought this car new. Still has less than 100,000 miles on it. And a couple of years ago, he had the unfortunate circumstance to hit a deer with it. Still very drivable, but it's a real trick to find parts for one of these, as I'm sure you can imagine. Here's the original fiberglass front, and you can see how the old deer just kind of broke it off. We have the original. That's a mess. Here's the original body panel, the original fender, and as you can see, it suffered quite a bit as well. We've since gotten a new fender for the car. And although the front end is not on it right now, we have this yellow front off a 77 model year. This was a car that was actually going to be in a demolition derby, and we saved the front end off of it. I think it's unfortunate that any of these fine old cars ought to be in a demolition derby, but evidently we couldn't convince the owner of that, otherwise we might have had two of them. Okay, well, the key keeper's over getting the tarp off the Cadillac. I'm busy stealing the battery out of his big brown piece of junk. Hopefully he's so absorbed in what he's doing, he won't notice, you know? It's like he's making some progress. 7 liters of raw Cadillac power, folks. A V8 in there, of course. And one hopelessly screwed up battery that we're going to have swapped out here in just a couple of minutes. I hear the key keeper making trouble again. There's our replacement fender on this poor old girl. I have no idea as to the veracity of my source, but I read somewhere on the internet, which probably means it's false, you know, that there are only about 5,000 to 6,000 of these cars made this way. So we got a battery in it now. Let's see if it starts. Also did a quick conversion, 7 liters into cubic inches. That's a 427 V8. That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. So let's give this thing a crank over and see if it'll go. Okay, well, we got dome lights. Got the keys for this old girl. Let's see, 91,728. And yes, folks, that is original mileage. Stereo cassette player, no 8-track here. Full climate controls. Interior in this poor old car is really pretty clean. Well, let's see what we get here. The key keeper was a great service once again. Let's see, throttle's not stuck. I don't think. Look at that. Got some lights. Got the dinger. Got the yellow dot. I don't usually have that. I usually have a green one. Pump it a few times. Let's see if it'll go. we go. There's our green light. Now, I'm figuring we probably do. Got our radio there with its digital tuner lit up. It's still a little cold. Choke hasn't come off yet. Now, folks, this is why you disconnect your, you turn off your radio. You don't disconnect your radio. You turn off your radio when you jump starting. I actually blew the power antenna on this car. But there are some stations it'll still pick up. That just sounds beautiful. 4 speakers. About the only thing I think it'll pick up. I can try to find something else, though. Well, there we are, listening to a radio station about 30 miles out with no antenna on it. That's pretty darn good for any radio. Tone control. Local and distant. Ooh, a lot of AM alternator hash. Pretty sweet, though. Automatic everything. Power everything. Hope someday we can get this car fixed. This is how sweet that engine sounds. Still cold, and there isn't a miss in it or anything. Well, the sun's decided to come back out. Looks nice out here again. What a sweet running engine. Cadillac 427. We could also get a 350 diesel in these cars. That wasn't such a good engine, but I have a soft spot for diesels. I'd like to see one of those 350s someday. There's still a few of them around that run. For the part I'm sure you've all been waiting for. What does this thing do when you get on it a little bit? Well, I'm glad you asked. See, up here we have this light that tells you that everything's running optimally. You're getting good fuel economy and all that jazz. Well, nothing will take this thing from mild-mannered Cadillac to outright Banshee faster than mashing that go pedal down there. And it's got a light for that too. I don't know if the camera's fast enough to pick up on it. We're going to try this. That light turns yellow to tell you that you're not getting very good fuel economy because basically you just opened up the back 2 barrels of the 4-barrel carburetor that's on this thing. Oh, power steering works sweet. It's a good car. I love it. Okay, let's see what we get here. See that? It tells you better lay off a little bit, that you're not getting very good fuel economy. But my goodness, this thing will go like no other. Alrighty, well there you go. In case you were wondering. 79 Cadillac Deville with a 427 V8 in it. One hell of a good car.